Did we start the album again last summer, as all the reports suggest? And the answer is yes, absolutely. We realised that we'd been working quite disparately, and we hadn't even played in a room together for 4 or 5 months. So we went to a tiny rehearsal room in North London, and we played together in a space not much bigger than this carpet. We all got a great buzz off playing together, and then we realised, well, it seems like we've gone wrong on all the other stuff because it doesn't feel as exciting as this. So in September we then went back into another studio in North London and started, stripping everything away from around us and just focusing on the 4 of us playing together.
Okay, welcome to Trimming Musical Fat, the podcast where we trim albums that are too damn long. I'm Stephen Nicholson, and I am again joined by my friend Davie Melon. So thanks to you for coming back for the concluding part of our look at Coldplay's 2005 album X and Y. In last week's show, we gave our thoughts on the album, its artwork, Coldplay themselves, and chose the songs that will make up side A of our single vinyl 50-minute cut version of X and Y. Today we conclude the journey by picking the songs that will make up side B, discuss the tracks that hit the cutting room floor, rank the X and Y Supercut, recommend further listening by Coldplay, and I have to decide where to place the album in the TTMF Hall of Fame.
Hello listeners, this is David from In the Lap of the Pods Queen podcast, and you are listening to another episode of Trimming the Musical Fat. Slanjava.
So it's time to start picking the songs for the X and Y second side. It's side B. A reminder, for selection we're including all 13 songs that featured on the original 2005 CD release of the album. Now, last week for side A we picked the following tracks: Square One, What If, White Shadows, Fix You and Talk. So Davie, let's pick side B, and we're starting off with a unanimous choice here, and it's the title track X and Y, and here's a bit for you right now.
You and me are floating on a tidal wave, together. You and me are drifting into outer space, singing.
So that was X and Y, and X and Y is the mathematical formula used when you don't know the answer.
Yeah, I think it's a great track. I mean, I love that there's not like an intro to it. It just goes straight into the vocals, straight from the get-go, and we've got the strings underscoring that as well. And then it's probably one that highlights Chris Martin's voice the best on I probably think it's his best vocal effort on the album.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally my kind of song. It's an epic. It's got the kind of spacey lyrics. You and me are floating on a tidal wave together. You and me are drifting into outer space. It's got a fabulous chorus, great guitar work from Johnny Buckland, and yeah, one of the highlights of the album for me. Absolutely love it. So it gets on, as does the next track, another unanimous choice, and it is the first single from the album, and it is Speed of Sound.
All that noise and all that sound, all those places I got found. Birds go flying at the speed of sound to show you how it all began. Birds came flying from the underground. If you could see it, then you'd understand.
So that was Speed of Sound, first single from the album. It got to number 2 here in the UK and number 8 in the US. And again, random fact here, Davie. This song is notable for being the billionth download purchased on the iTunes store. There you go, huh? Every day's a school day. So yeah, for me, this song is one of my favourite tracks on the album, and kind of re-listening to it for the show, it actually, I thought it was quite reminiscent of the track Clocks from A Rush of Blood to the Head. It's got a great build-up in the verses, got a lovely bridge to the chorus, and talking to the chorus, it's one of those skyscraper choruses that you can just sing along to. Yeah, glorious stuff. Same for you?
Yeah, apart from the Clocks bit, 'cause I'm not a big fan of the Clocks song.
Really?
But you like this
Wow.
one?
Wow, okay.
I might have to recant that because I've got a funny feeling that I don't really like that song. I'll listen to it again after this, but I'm pretty sure if it's the one I'm thinking about, it's one of the lesser songs on that particular album, but not of this one. Yeah, I really it encouraged me to go out and get the album after hearing the single. So and it was it's got great guitar work on there. I think I might let it be the last song on my album with. If you just stopped after that and not included any other songs, I would be happy. But I'll let it slide on there. But I'd be quite happy for it to finish a song before.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Speed of Sound's on. The third track that's getting on side B is another unanimous choice from us, and it is another single, and it's The Hardest Part.
I could feel it go down. Bittersweet, I could taste in my mouth. Silver lining the cloud. Oh, and I wish that I could work it out.
So The Hardest Part, fourth single from the album, and it was intended as a tribute to American band R.E.M, a band both me and Davie love. And the track was actually left off the album track list when the band sent an early version of X and Y to the record label Parlophone, but it was included when the album was finalised. So you think maybe the quality dips a wee bit from here on in, Davey. What do you think about The Hardest Part?
It was one of the two songs I kept in after on the second side of the album. So I do really like it. I understand what you're saying. If it being a tribute to R.E.M, it's definitely got that R.E.M feel about it. Probably why I do like it so much. And yeah, it's definitely one of the strongest songs on the second side of not the CD but the vinyl. Yeah.
Yeah, I was glad I found out that fact about R.E.M because for years I've always thought it had a bit of an R.E.M feel to it. So I'm glad that was meant to be an obvious thing. But it's one of those songs,
Electrolyte or something like that,
Yeah.
kind of vibe going on.
yeah, where it's very much piano kind of led. Yeah, definitely. But this is one of those songs that maybe when I was initially listening to the album wasn't such a big fan of, but as repeated listens, it's one of those ones that grew on me. It's almost got a bit of a country feel to it in a lot of ways, and a really sweet chorus, and as I mentioned there, really great use of the piano on the track throughout. So yeah, The Hardest Part gets on, and our penultimate track getting on is again picked by both me and Davey, and it is Twisted Logic. And here it is.
You go backwards, but then you go forwards again. You go backwards, but then you go forwards. You go backwards, but then you go forwards again. You go backwards, but then you go
So that was Twisted Logic, and the band named their 2005 tour after this song, but never actually played it live, which must have been quite disappointing if you liked it. And For me, I'm probably going to like it more than you, Davey. I think this is a brilliant song. Kind of, again, supreme space age rock. We talked about the kind of Beatles Abbey Road references, and this song, for me, the guitar and the verses sounds like She's So Heavy from Abbey Road. It's got a superb build up to the chorus. I think the band's playing on it throughout is they're on top form, and I love the lyric in it. You know, you'll go backwards, but then you'll go forwards again, which is kind of repeated a bit like a mantra. And yeah, what a way to finish the album. Superb stuff. Is it superb stuff for you?
Twisted Logic, without a shadow of a doubt, it's the best song on the second side of the album for me. Just listen to the album back on Apple Music. I'm sitting there thinking, why is this not the last song of the album? As it should be, but you're saying the one after it, is that the hidden track on?
It is. Till Kingdom Come.
Yeah. So at that point, because this Twisted Logic is the absolute perfect closing song for this album. It's absolutely superb. Like the ominous guitars starting to come through. It's like almost like a storm building up before it like breaks up with the rain thrashing down at the end. And like you said, like all I could think about at certain points was the guitar sounding like She's So Heavy. I was like, from Abbey Road. Brilliant. No, I absolutely love it. It's the perfect closing track for the album. They should not have put whatever that was after it.
Well, I'm about to disappoint you, Davey, because well, this album did have a hidden track called Till Kingdom Come, and I'm a fan of it there. And you didn't pick it, Davey. I'm going to, and we're gonna keep it on here as a hidden track. And well, let's hear it before we talk about it.
On before Twisted Logic.
Yeah, put it on before the hidden track before the proper final track. But let's hear a bit of it.
For you I'd wait till kingdom come, until my day is done, and say you'll come and set me free. Just say you'll wait for me.
Okay, that was Kingdom Come, and as we mentioned, it is a hidden track, and it is represented on the X and Y package by a plus sign on the back of the case. The song, don't know if you knew this, Davey, it was intended for Johnny Cash, and on Coldplay's Twisted Logic tour, Chris Martin explained that the song was written for a special event and was to be performed by Cash and Coldplay together, but Johnny Cash passed away before this event could be finalised. Hence, this song really doesn't sound like anything else on the album. And I really like it because of that. It is so different from everything else. It's acoustic, it's simple, it's not overproduced, it's honest. For me, it's just a brilliant hidden track and deserves to be on here. You're obviously disagreeing.
I get where you're coming from now. It does sound like it could be a Johnny Cash song, to be fair, but that's not what I'm looking for when I want to Coldplay. I was just saying, it reminds me of like a kind of song that like Mumford and Sons would come up with, but Mumford and Sons do it a million times better than that.
Okay. Fair enough. So there we are. That is the 5 songs picked for side 2, which runs to 23 minutes in total. So we have our 10 tracks, and the Supercut comes in at, Davey, 48 minutes. We made it.
This is Eric Paul Johnson from Face the Music, an Electric Light Orchestra song-by-song podcast. And you're listening to Trimming the Musical Fat. Oh dear. That wasn't my fat I trimmed.
Okay, so
I could have had an extra song on there. I think mine was 44 minutes. I just deliberately took an extra song off just because I wanted to concentrate as much on the first side as I could.
Well, that's a good link, Davey, because it's now time to reveal the songs that did not make the grade. And there were 3 of them. and they are Swallowed by the Sea, Low, and A Message. So, sorry to see any of them go.
To be fair, like I think Low would make like a decent B-side. It's certainly not. It's all right. It's all right. And I probably could have left it on there, or either that or the Message song. But Swallowed by the Sea, I do not like. It's just like the simplistic rhyming on there. It's just like does my head in. It just wanders along, just like slow, low, slow. Like shit. Move on.
Funnily enough, that for me is my least favourite song on the album as well. I always found it a bit out of place compared to everything else.
You got Apple to write the lyrics for it.
Maybe they did, yeah. Got our crayons out, yeah. Whereas Low and A Message, yeah, I think they're good songs. Especially the final part of Low, where I've been low. That's tremendous stuff. So yeah, two good songs, Low and A Message, Swallowed by the Sea. Yeah, it's not unhappy to see that disappear.
Hey everyone out there in the podcasting world, this is Widescreen Podcast. This is Sam Wiles. You are listening to another episode of the Trimming the Musical Fat podcast.
Okay, let's reveal the 10 songs that will make up the TTMF Supercut Coldplay's X and Y. So we've got Square One, What If, White Shadows, Fix You, Talk, X and Y, Speed of Sound, The Hardest Part, Twisted Logic, and Kingdom Come. So, Davie, in last week's show, you rated this album 4.25 out of 5. I rated it 4.5. What rating would you give the Supercut?
5.
I'm going to agree with you, and I am also giving it 5 as well. Yeah, definitely an upgrade. And if there's kind of anybody listening to this who maybe isn't too familiar with Coldplay's discography, what couple of songs would you recommend that they check out?
One of my favourite ones to maybe check out would be Adventure of a Lifetime on Head Full of Dreams. I think that's a good staple at the Coldplay gig that you would like to hear. Parachutes is a really good album, so Shiver on there, or I would actually Don't Panic and Shiver.
Yeah, Don't Panic, superb. Yeah, for me, I think the ones that are not so obvious, the opening track on Rush of Blood to the Head, which is Politics, is tremendous. And maybe another one which is less well known, but definitely worthy of your time checking out, is a song on Ghost Stories, which is kind of like the Chris Martin Divorce album, and it's a really good album. I like this, and it's a song called True Love, so definitely worth checking out. And now I need to place X and Y into the TTMF Hall of Fame, a relatively new feature added to the show where I'll try and rank each album with trim by preference. And I have to be honest, Davey, I've completely lost the thread on this. I can't remember what albums are in the list and which placings I put them into. So I'm going to have to, at some point, write these down and get them into order going forward. I will say, yeah, we've had the likes of the Verve's Urban Hymns, Radiohead's The Bends, Alice in Chains' self-titled album. I think The Suburbs by Arcade Fire, Elton John's Blue Moves. Yeah, I mean, where would I put X and Y? Really quite high on that list, but you know what I'm going to have to do is work out what everything is before we get to the next show, and I'll then do a rundown of where everything is. But yes, this will be placed very high up in the Hall of Fame.
Like Trimming the Musical Fat, why not check out our other podcast, Trimming the Movie Fat?
So, time for us to stop our talk and head home at the speed of sound. Thanks to you for joining us today. Thanks to Davie for guesting, and come back next week for another episode of Trimming Musical Fat. Until then, keep trimming.
Trimming the Musical Fat podcast is a Stephen and Paul Nicholson production. We'd love to hear from you. You'll find our contact details in the episode description. Want more TTMF? Head to our socials. Join our Facebook group. Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And check out our website at trimmingthemusicalfat.com.